So for the past 43 days, I've had no sugar, no coffee, no alcohol, no dairy, with the exception of eggs, nothing processed, and nothing white, meaning flour, bread, pastas, etc. So in this video, I want to explain why I went on such a crazy detox. I want to share the benefits that I got from it and the lessons that I've learned during that process. So first of all, you might be wondering why the hell you would want to do such a restrictive detox. And myself, I would be asking the same if I was watching this video. So my motivation, first of all, was to upgrade my health. So I always want to optimize performance. For me, it's about energy levels, it's about cognitive performance, so feeling very good. So there's a company in Bali called BSI International. I'm sure if you can see here, that's their logo. And they do advanced blood work, all right? And they test your blood and urine samples to tell you what's going on in your body and how to optimize your health. And they're very holistic based, meaning they're generally taking more functional approach to medicine, and it's going to be kind of natural processes to clean your body. So I had my blood work done, and they give you this amazing 25-page report on everything that's going on in your body. First of all, they look at your blood under a microscope, under a blood panel, and you can see what's going on individually in your blood cells, which was very, very unique. And I've never seen my blood under a microscope. Pretty scary if you've ever done this. You can see all the kind of fungus in your blood. You can see heavy metals and stuff, but I'll not go too much into the details. But first of all, they give me my report, right? So they've got my kind of blood counts, they've got all my levels of, just various things in my blood, and they give me a review based on that. Now, what I liked about the kind of report I got was it gives me my result. It tells me if it's a flag, basically red for too high, green for too low, and what's an optimal range. Then they give me like a description of like what's going on within my body and kind of their best guesses of what could be happening in my body. So with mine, the ones that stood out the most were, let's fast forward to the section. Here's my blood count. So my red blood count cell was a bit low. I'm not going to go into the details of these without boring you guys. But the ones that really stood out came with my lungs and my liver. All right, so I'm a pretty active guy. I work out quite often. One thing was I had approximately 90% lung capacity. All right, I'll try and show you the page, but 90% lung capacity. And the observation was that it could be coming from my liver. So like my reduced capacity could be from a clogged liver, all right? And having drank the majority of my teens and 20s, I can definitely say I've probably done some damage to my livers through that process. And they said basically when the lungs are not at full capacity, it can be caused by liver functioning. The liver, when clogged, tends to eliminate through the lungs in the form of mucus, all right? So basically probably coming from the fact my livers are bad, all right? Now we did some more work on my liver enzymes, and they were all through the roof, all right? Like red off the charts. For my bilirubin, they call it. And this is basically causing inadequate liver uptake, obstruction of the biles within the liver or outside the liver, all right? And 3 or 4 markers came back with a kind of problem with the liver, all right? So this wasn't a big surprise to me. They also found heavy metals in the blood. Again, most people are going to have some heavy metals in the blood. Small parasites in the intestines, which again, like living in Bali, third world country, not too abnormal. But yeah, those are the main biomarkers that are kind of things that they alluded to. And yeah, I thought it would be very worthwhile following their procedure. All right, so on the back end of this, they decided that I should go on their 43-day detox program. All right, so the detox program basically includes a mass elimination of all the processed foods you're having, all the sugars, and the idea of it is for you to almost like starve all the bad bacteria in your stomach, the ones that feed on sugar and all the bad stuff, and then you want to repopulate your gut microbiome with healthy stuff, right? So fruits, vegetables, and more diversity of natural substances. So another thing I didn't mention, my stomach was very acidic, all right, very acidic. All right, the pH of my stomach was 6, a normal range of like 6.5 to 7.5. All right, so now I've bored you with all the things that are going on in my body. I want to talk about like the detox itself and how I found it, lessons learned and stuff. So first of all, it was this break from all the food. So like I said at the start, there's no sugar, there's no coffee or caffeine, nothing dairy apart from eggs, nothing white, nothing processed. So it's just very, very clean, all right? So first of all, you're shocking the body. So I got these supplements as well, I'll just cover these quickly. But basically, they give you lots of these natural compounds. Basically, a lot of these are like ginger, turmeric, beetroot, just compounds, natural compounds. I'm not going to go too much into that because I don't think that's a big part of the detox protocol itself. I think the main benefits I got were from the eliminating everything else. So when I started to eliminate coffee from my diet, first of all, that one was very difficult. All right, so myself, morning coffee every day, every morning. I'm so used to jumpstart my day with coffee. All right, so I had a big kind of probably a week of getting used to it and feeling a bit sluggish, to be honest, and slow at getting started. So one of the lessons I've learned straight away from that is that caffeine is a very double-ended sword. All right, by that I mean when you have it, you're high energy and you're go, go, go. All right, but on the flip side, you can't take as much time to relax, reflect, and actually just see like the bigger picture. All right, so for myself, when I have coffee, I'm like a madman. I'm running around doing stuff, but it's not a good time to have coffee if I just want to think, reflect, plan stuff. So for myself, I'm being much more mindful going forward of when I'm going to have coffee. All right, so the first lesson I've learned from this process is don't just have a coffee to kickstart your day. All right, don't just have a coffee first thing because that's the habitual thing that everyone in the world seems to do. Mindfully have one, and it has a byproduct of how does this affect me? For me, many times coffee has a negative impact. All right, it just makes me busy. Other times it's really good. It's like, oh, it gets me to actually be proactive and gets my mind thinking of ideas better. All right, so I'm going to be very, very mindful of the caffeine introduction. Second thing was no sugar. All right, so no sugar is huge. So the lesson I learned there is that sugar is in everything, literally everything. Like look at labelings, packaging, processed sugars in everything. All right, so when I say no sugar, I'm not meaning no fruits. All right, natural sugars when fruits were allowed, thank God. Actually, they were actually promoted. You were told to have as much fruit as you could. So again, no sugar. The first thing I learned from that is we crave it very, very much because we have it. All right. By that I mean when you're eating sugars often, you want more of it. All right. It gets the dopamine pumping in the brain, and we get addicted, and we crave more and more sugar. When I didn't have it, the first week was challenging, and then to be honest, I stopped thinking about it. However, my girlfriend likes to make lots of cakes downstairs. She makes brownies and cookies and all sorts of crazy nice stuff. Definitely had days when I just wanted to dig into all those, and I definitely had some days I craved them. I craved the brownies, the sweet stuff, and sugars. But for the most part, just by eliminating them from my diet, I stopped craving them. By that I mean day-to-day cravings. Like, oh, it's the evening time. Let's have something sweet. Oh, I've just had a meal. Let's have something sweet. Like avoiding all that, and it's stopping the cravings by not having it. So definitely going to be much more mindful of any sugars I have going forwards, both why I want them, the craving aspect of it, and also how I feel after. So yeah, not being on sugars as well, I found very, very sustainable for energy levels. So I've got used to almost having like a mid-afternoon crash, like 2-3 o'clock, just having a bit of a lull period. Generally, I'll sometimes go to the gym during that, or I'll just relax a bit. But I'm used to a lull energy in the afternoon at some point. Without having like kind of processed foods and sugars, I felt way more sustainable. All right, like very, very little crashes. All right, and I'm no caffeine as well. So it's been quite revolutionary for me to realize I have no caffeine and no substances and actually feel energized all day long. So that's been definitely one of the big takeaways I'm going to take from this. All right, so sugars, I'm going to be very mindful of them and have them just when I really want them. All right, I'll still have them occasionally. I'm not going to go full restrictive mode, but I'm definitely going to choose my times. Next thing was nothing white. So nothing white was challenging for probably the no bread aspect. That's quite challenging. I'd like to have bread in the morning if I could, like with some like whole wheat bread with eggs on would be ideal. And yeah, just generally when you go to restaurants or anything, you can't have any bread with your meals, which is a little bit restrictive, but not the end of the world. And yeah, it was a one I'm fine to do. Going forward, I'll eat bread in moderation. Flour as well, obviously flour's in a lot of stuff, cakes, whether it's anything that's been added with flour. Then you've got like all the fried stuff. I had nothing fried, nothing processed in any way. So yeah, a lot of restrictions in terms of those choices. But how you feel? I feel so much like better energy, right? Sustainable energy by not eating that stuff anyway. And my diet was quite clean before that. Another restriction was no dairy apart from eggs. All right, so eggs are natural. Most dairy isn't. Also got like sugars and stuff in them as well, like the milk. So I couldn't have dairy. So for me, no protein shakes at the gym. So I found a plant-based protein. All right, so plant-based protein to have instead. And yeah, other than that, I only would have whey protein, to be honest, from the dairy family. And cheese. I couldn't have cheese. So obviously no pizza or anything like that because there's no bread, no cheese, anything. So yeah, quite restrictive in that respect. But yeah, definitely felt good not having dairy for the most part. And yeah, just replacing that with plant protein after the gym worked well. So most people are probably wondering, Adam, what the hell did you eat? What the hell were you allowed? Like how did you survive 43 days with like those restrictions? So first of all, breakfast was just eggs and avocado. All right, eggs, avocado, cooked in coconut oil. All right, because I have to be careful with oils as well. Only natural oils, either avocado oil, kind of coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, just the good oils as well. So yeah, eggs and avocado for breakfast. For lunch, I would have fruits, a fruit bowl, which was generally for me blended together. So it'd be raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, dragon fruits, bananas, sometimes some pineapple in there, but just a mixture of fruits. And I top that with almonds and walnuts to get my protein content. All right, and I found some chocolate, which was 99% cacao, sugar-free, and plant-based. Definitely an acquired taste. Definitely not the sweetness of chocolate used to, but I have a little bit of that as well with my lunch. If I was going to the gym, I would have a plant-based protein shake, so it's plant powder, like a pea protein it was based on. And then after the gym, I would generally have fish, a white fish, red snapper, white snapper, or I'd have chicken, and I'd have a mixture of cooked vegetables, right? Broccoli, cauliflower, peppers, and I'd have sweet potatoes for my carb source, all right, or pumpkin, occasionally pumpkin as well. All right, so that was pretty much it. That's pretty much what I was eating day in, day out. I could mix my vegetables around. I could mix my protein source in terms of going for fish or chicken, or didn't have much beef, to be honest. A couple of steaks, but nothing much. And I could mix my vegetables, all right, fruits, vegetables, but nothing else. Everything else stayed very, very static. So one saves a lot of time because you're eating the same thing over and over, so you're not thinking about it so much. But you generally feel really good when you're eating that clean. One of the obstacles I ran into was, for myself, I'm quite active. I go to the gym most days. I go for walks, even runs. Probably bi-daily. So me, I burn quite a lot of calories compared to a lot of people. And for me, getting all the calories in whilst eating clean became a challenge, especially towards the end. I felt like I was always in a calorie deficit. Normally when you're under eating, it's very easy to just consume some calories, like 90 calories. Even things like having like rice after the gym for me was out of the equation. So I found it difficult to get my calories high. All right, so towards the end, I felt I was getting a little bit weak just from the probably lack of calories, like unbuild of lack of calories for a number of days. But overall, the process was really, really good. I'm going to get my blood work done again in a few weeks, probably 10 days. 10 days time, I'll get my blood work done again. So I'll be able to check if my liver has recovered, if my blood markers are doing better. But overall, it was a really good experience. And I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, how I respond to foods, how I feel good, what foods do what to my body. And I think anyone who wants to go for a process like this, my advice would be, first of all, have a clear reason. Like, do you want to improve your health? Do you want to improve your energy levels? For me, it was more health and energy. Get your blood work done. So get your blood and urine samples done with a company that can actually monitor them for you and give you data and compare them to normative figures. And ideally, you'd want to go with a company that can actually suggest a kind of detox protocol for you. So the company I went with, BSI in Bali, they do it all for you. All right, so they suggest the protocols, they give you the supplements and everything that goes with it. So the main thing is to remove stuff. But when you're doing this, you can't do it without the information. All right, so myself, I remove everything, start taking random stuff. It doesn't really help much. All right, so you've got to make sure you get your testing done so you can understand what's going on in your body. Before I did this, I had no clue. I had some inclinations, perhaps my liver might have been damaged from a lot of alcohol consumption, but until I did the testing, I had no real idea. So yeah, it's good to get your work done. And these detoxes, they're really good. Because they're natural. Like there's the cost, like these supplements are pretty cheap. Like they're all natural, like root herbs and stuff. You could just say no to those if you wanted to. It's all pretty much free. You're detoxing. You're removing stuff. All right. As a process, your body can actually clean itself. It can detoxify. All right, and get rid of a lot of stuff. Another thing I want to touch on quickly is a digestive flush that I was supposed to do every week or every 10 days. All right, so I'll talk about this. So my experience with this, I did this salt that they gave me. It's a special kind of Mediterranean salt. What's in it? Basically Indian salt, magnesium, and some lemon. Then you would squeeze in 2 fresh lemons. That's 100 milliliters of fresh lemon juice and 100 milliliters of coconut oil. All right, so imagine mixing this together. You've got like 250 milliliters of oil and lemon juice, and you drink that on an empty stomach. Now, the idea of that is to flush out your body, literally flush out your body. You could go to the toilet and flush it all out. All right, so the first time I had that, nothing happened. All right, so I was like, what? I was doing all this oil and all this lemon, nothing happened, no effect. Second time I did it, I was violently sick through the night. So I literally had it, my stomach was like crunching up, and I was sick for the night, just being sick. I messaged the guys at the clinic. Apparently it's somewhat normal to be sick on this kind of, when you have that salt, lemon and oil. Personally, wasn't enjoying it, didn't work for me, felt like crap the following day, so I skipped that part of the protocol, didn't follow through with the salts, oils and lemon juice protocols. But overall, really enjoyed the detox. I think it's really, really interesting what you learn about yourself when you remove stuff. For me, the hardest thing was removing caffeine. Second hardest was removing sugars, being very, very strict on that. But both of those, I've gained really positives, all right? And I'm looking forward to having a morning coffee again. I'm looking forward to not checking labels and making sure I'm not consuming sugars. But I'm also going to be very, very mindful of them as well. I feel my body's way healthier right now. I feel like my digestive system is amazingly fast and sharp compared to what it was. I feel like when I eat stuff, I just absorb it much better right now. And I think for most of us, we've went through life kind of just eating what we want, do what we want. And that comes at a kind of cost over time. So if anyone's struggling with like digestive troubles or any sort of stomach problems or health problems, I would definitely recommend going through a procedure like this. Get your test done, get your blood work done, urine sample, see what the experts would say about it, and then some sort of detox protocol to allow your body to heal naturally. That was one of the biggest selling points of the program for me, was the kind of holistic, natural nature of it. It wasn't like forcing loads of stuff in your body. It wasn't doing anything crazy. One thing that we did that I haven't talked about is an IV drip. So we had basically every 10 days I'd go to the clinic and they put me on a drip, which is like imagine a hospital drip going into your arms. First of all, it was electrolytes going into you, because it was after the flushes where you'd be sick or go to the toilet. But the main thing for me was high dose of vitamin C. I got B vitamins, I got magnesium, zinc. Again, that's like an additional thing to add on to the detox. But the main thing, I think, the main benefits, if I'm looking at like 80-20 principles, 80% of the benefits come from the removal factor, the discipline to do that, and how your body responds to removing all the kind of negative inputs. So I definitely recommend anyone to give something like that a go if you feel it would be a benefit to your health. It is challenging. Mentally, it's very challenging. For me, I'm quite good if I commit to something, just going right, doing it. But it is challenging. Like food is all around us all the time. It's very, very tempting to break your diet and eat the wrong stuff. Coffee, very, very hard to wean yourself off it. We get addicted to it, but it can definitely wean a lot of benefits. So anyways, rant over, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my summary of the detox I went on. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried your own detox, or if there's any information you'd like to know about this detox I went on that I haven't shared already. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button before you go. There's going to be plenty more coming from me very soon.